Hi guys, this is Abigail Lissy and you are watching Tools in Action.
Hey everyone, this is John from Tools in Action. Now today I don't have a new tool to show you guys, but I have a reboot, a facelift, an upgrade to an already existing tool. What I'm talking about here is the Bessey parallel clamps. These are the K-body Revo clamps. Now if you know anything about clamps, you've probably heard of Bessey. Bessey makes, in my opinion, the best bar clamps out there, parallel clamps out there, and they actually took a couple things that annoyed me and made it even better. They made the corrections. And why? Well, they're listening to their users, and there were suggestions that were brought up to them, and they made the improvements. And I'll tell you, it took a really, really good clamp and put it here to a great clamp. So I'm not going to keep raving about this. I'm going to go show you the old model, the new model, the differences, and tell you why I find it so important. First off, here is their latest edition, or their last edition of the K-body Revo clamp, and I've been using this for years, and I have lots of glue on the bar and stuff, but I use them all the time. Now, the one thing that always annoyed me about this clamp was, and for that part, any other parallel clamp out there with the exception of one, is when you stand this unit up, this is going to fall most likely. And a lot of the times when I go to work on something, I'll pick my clamp up and I want it to be set and ready to go so I can clamp up. And if I pick it up, it falls. Now I have to readjust it. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but to me it was major and it's frustrating. There's only one clamp out there previous to this new one that would keep your top clamping section in place, and that was with the Jet unit, but that one had some kind of funny trigger to it, and I've used it. I don't have it, but I wasn't a big fan of it. I just didn't like that clamp. So Bessey came out, and that's, in my opinion, the number one improvement they made. This clamp, that head stays in place. I mean, I can't even make it fall down, just a little bit at a time. This handle kicks back and locks into place every time you're done using it. So that's awesome. For me, I can pick that clamp up, have it pre-sized, clamp what I need to in place, and not have to worry about this slamming down to the ground. So to me, that's the biggest improvement here. Now, they've also made some cosmetic changes, and it looks nicer now. But basically it's just cosmetic. Also, another thing that they've done with this is they've added a 2-component handle on here that has a hex hole in the back. And the reason why they did this is some of the older users or people that aren't very strong can't get the full pressure, clamping pressure out of their clamps, because they just don't have the hand strength. So they put that hex hole in the top so that you can actually use a hex wrench. And in case you're wondering, this is a 6mm. So you can actually use this as leverage and get more clamping potential out of this. I mean, you can use any 6mm wrench will fit. And if you really want some pressure, you can use that. Now, speaking of clamping pressure, these units are stated as having 1,700 pounds of clamping force. I don't have a way to measure that, and all I know is you can really cinch down on these. I have a lot of grip strength here, and I can really cinch down on these things. And one of the keys to getting 1,700 pounds of pressure are these little cuts in the bar. They're all up and down on this bar. And what that does is that it allows this back section to actually bite into this bar, into one of those grooves, and lock into place. Some of the other units I've used and I've seen, like Jorgensen used to have, they're out of business now, but theirs was a clean bar. It was just a solid bar, no grooves in it. So your clamp had to dig into that bar on its own, and it would give you marks along the way. but you know, you're digging into a smooth surface rather than one that's already cut for you. So these ones actually have a little more clamping pressure. Like I said, these are phenomenal. They stuck with these little feet that's on the old unit also. They come right off the bar, and what they do is they slide on this bar right here in case you have your work that you're clamping up, you don't want to touch this bar. As you can see here, I have a lot of glue on this old bar, and quite frankly, I haven't used those. I usually skip that step, and then I end up having to break the glue off the bar later. So this is another way to keep your delicate woodworking projects off of this bar and getting damaged or scraped or stained or getting glue on the bar. But like I said, it's two component handle with the hex receptacle, and the fact that this unit stays up and does not come crashing down is a huge improvement. Now, like I said, this is a reboot facelift. What they did is this one is now the KRE model, and that's replacing the KR models. So if you were looking and you're not sure which one you want or which one you're getting, if you look on the back here, this one says KRE 3.524. So it's KRE. This one over here says KR 3.524. So if you're looking for the upgraded model, make sure you get the KRE. And if you stand it up, you should know right away that it's the right one. Hats off to Bessey for this. I'm really stoked about these units that stand up like this. And I'm sure I'm going to be adding to my clamp collection here shortly. So until next time, I'm John from Tools in Action. Talk to you later.
Remember, for more exciting tool action, go to toolsinaction.com.